Okay, Assalamualaikum. Selamat petang. Kita kembali semula ke Bual TV di mana kita panggil kawan-kawan dan kroni untuk bercakap
kroni
untuk bercakap mengenai perkara-perkara yang orang kata ikut suka lah kan.
So siapa yang tak kawan dengan kau bukan kroni lah.
Lebih kurang macam tu lah. Okay, untuk kali ni yalah, kalau perasan for the past few episode kita dah panggil kawan-kawan aka kroni-kroni yang mana yang profesional kan. Biasalah kawan-kawan pun kena select-select juga kan.
Dia geram ke masalah ke macam mana Faris Ilyas?
Tak adalah.
Ada isu ke?
Tak ada. Tak. Saja je. Okay, without further ado, kita minta kamera please roll dekat kita punya guest untuk kali ni. Doktor Rizwan.
Yeah.
So Dr. Rizwan ataupun nama glamour dia Dr. Rez. Sebenarnya kalau kau nak tahu, Twitter follower dia lagi banyak daripada aku. Double man, double.
Dahsyat.
Double. Dia pernah viral pasal video yang apa yang PDRM sogok apa yang
Ya Allah, that one. Is that the one? Look, the one that I rasa yang paling you should. By the way, I'm Dr. Rez. Hey guys, what's up? Okay. First of all, I'm not a crony. I don't think I will be a crony.
To me?
To anyone.
Okay.
Tetapi, and I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to hear any proposals that they lay out lah. So the video that I think that you guys should, the Twitter thread that I think you guys should really look at is the one that I did about how we managed to debunk a Zionist theory about the Hamas October 7 attack by just the dentition, by just the teeth. Because if you guys look at Twitter, there's one guy who is an Israeli shill called Elon Levy. So what he did was that he said that Hamas terrorists burned down children until what was left was only their teeth. But I noticed in the picture, it was crowns and bridges, not anything that any children would do. So you guys have a look at it. I'll put it as my pin tweet or something. So editor hopefully letak lah I punya username kat bawah ni. Orang boleh cari.
Awal sangat dia nak suruh promote dia punya Twitter. Relax lah, ujung-ujung lah. Boleh tak kenalkan diri dulu? I mean your background, belajar kat mana, dan doktor apa ni?
Okay. So ada hint tadi buat teeth kan. So saya ni Doktor Gigi. I've been a dentist for the past almost 10 years lah, 11 years. Since 2013, Alhamdulillah. I was studying in IMU, fully local, 5 years in Bukit Jalil. Some of my friends went off to Otago, some went to Australia. I stayed here, and then I worked in the government service for about 2.5 years kat Sarawak for 2 tahun and 6 bulan di Johor. And then I went to work with Klinik Pergigian Firdaus for about 5-6 years, and now I'm opening up my own clinic. I've already opened up my own clinic. It's called Kyo Dental Clinic di Bandar Sunway.
Alhamdulillah. So business owner juga ni.
Doktor memang satu napas yang dia bercakap. Aku cuba kan. Satu napas dia bercakap.
dulu ni apa nama menang tilawah Quran.
Serius lah.
Ustaz, doktor, hebat. Boleh jadi calon ni?
Macam okay. So to start off with our session for today, I think it's best if we can start with health tourism. As you know, Malaysia ni for the past few years dia dah mula menjadi destinasi pilihan untuk orang kata pelancongan kesihatan or health tourism, if you like to call it. So maybe Ilyas kot ada nak start dulu with some of the orang kata fakta-fakta ke?
Based on dia punya fakta lah. Dia punya target sampai November 2023 1.92 billion income yang revenue yang Malaysia dapat lah.
Ini untuk tahun
sampai November 2023.
Oh, okay.
Lepas tu spillover untuk ada ekonomik pula, industri sampai 9.6 billion. So banyak jugalah, tapi tak tahulah
9.6
billion.
Wow.
Ada ekonomiknya.
The numbers I have is so different. Yeah.
Every website I think different.
Because I tengok dekat MTHC is Malaysian Tourism Health Tourism Council. So dia cakap back in 2022 lah, I think it's 1.3 billion. Betul kan? 1.3 billion kan ni? Billion? 1.3 billion. So in 21 for some reason it's this is 600 million. So in 2022 it's 1.3 billion. So I think if we're trying to get 9.2?
1.9.
1.9. That's very good. Okay, that's I guess that is an achievable target lah kot. Sebab I think the one you talking about 9.2 is spillover over the other economies. Okay, understood. I believe that it can be a lot more as compared to what our other countries in the region are doing. One thing that we have here in Malaysia that other countries don't have is we have a good command of English, and kita ada a good halal industry. So a lot of the patients that I associate myself with Dr. Firdaus Anapiah, an oral maxillofacial surgeon. So he has had patients from the UK, from Australia, from New Zealand, and I would say about half of them are Muslims, and they love to come to Malaysia. They are Western Muslims, and they love to come to Malaysia because everything's halal over here. You think it's easy to find halal Chinese food in susah cari halal Chinese food.
So that means Malaysia is adalah satu negara yang
our unique selling proposition kita halal. Yeah.
So dia halal dan untuk healthcare.
Healthcare. I think it can go hand in hand. I think it already has gone hand in hand.
So bermakna yang di luar sana yang cuba untuk provoke kesihatan kita, I think benda tu jadi tak betul lah, sebab orang luar lagi berminat untuk servis kita.
Western Muslims love us. Diorang suka the fact that kita boleh, you can come anywhere and more or less they can go anywhere, they know it's halal. Kalau kat tempat macam UK ke apa kan, maybe nak some of the subway punya chains ada lain halal, ada yang tak. And so sini we know for a fact, and we have a very good halal certification. I mean, this is not my field, but I would say that we have a very good internationally recognized halal agency, JAKIM man. Itulah.
So dia lebih okay untuk yang yang isu ni. Dia lebih kepada swasta ataupun kerajaan punya servis.
Of course, healthcare tourism, it has, I mean, I think it has to be a private sector punya side lah. I mean healthcare untuk the public side, it should cater to rakyat.
Okay.
Untuk private punya, it should cater to, we should fill in the gaps whatever the public cannot do. The public healthcare cannot do, private has to do it.
Also because private is more, I would say, on the profit side.
Of course.
Business is always business.
Itulah. And speaking of what Ilyas said just now about the 1.9, yeah, I think it's an achievable target. I mean, macam aku ni menteri but I think it's kalau tengok kita track record, right, because we just had a bit of a dip in COVID time, and even in COVID time 2020 we had 800 million, which is a lot. In 2020 we had 800 million
yang, I mean, revenue generated
from healthcare tourism, and the volume is in 2020 is 689,000 patients who came in, right? In 2021 561,000, a bit of a dip. 2022 850,000, so it's more than 2020. Our heyday was 2019, 1.2 billion people came. Billion betul ni? 1.2, sorry, ya Allah, 1.2 million people came. 1.22 million people came in 2019.
Kalau billion dah pergi ke US tu.
Itulah lawak dia. Billion dia right, population of China.
Malaysia tak sampai tu.
Like you said just now, kebanyakan orang Western yang suka datang sini, but aku nampak actually orang Asia pun suka datang sini juga. I mean for healthcare reason, because for your information, ada sekali tu awal tahun ni aku pergi ke ada satu hotel private dekat Penang lah.
Right.
Surprisingly hotel tu ada beberapa perkara yang orang kata memeranjatkan aku. Yang pertama, bila aku masuk kat bawah tu, dia ada satu front desk. I mean satu receptionist yang biasa front desk.
Yeah.
Then dia ada lagi satu front desk khas untuk Indonesia. Maksudnya dia ada Indonesian speaker.
Yeah.
Okay, itu number one. Then number two, so bila aku naik, sebab pergi tengok kawan kan, then bila aku naik, adalah macam dia tunduk directory doktor. I mean ada berpuluh-puluh doktor kan. Almost semua doktor boleh bercakap bahasa Indonesia. Maksudnya dia bagi tahu lah, okay, list doktor ni apa speciality dia, bahasa dia standard lah, bahasa Melayu, English, Chinese, Hokkien, blah blah blah. Then bawah tu bahasa Indonesia, macam wow. Lepas tu, so most of the patient macam, yelah, Penang kan nampak macam Chinese, tapi sebenarnya diorang Indonesia.
Yeah, Chinese Indonesians probably
so
Indo.
macam wow, I mean even dekat kita kat KL pun dah ada banyak dah turis daripada Indonesia datang for health purpose kan.
Kalau ikut record tu 70 to 80% turis yang daripada Indonesia datang ke Malaysia.
Ya, tapi kenapa diorang datang sini, even bukan duit kita lagi tinggi daripada
macam
duit dia.
Aku nak sambung sikit apa yang Faris cakap, sebab tadi pun aku bawa balik daripada Green Eagles. Aku duduk nak naik atas lah ke ward kan. Dalam lift tu aku seorang je mat Malaysia. Thailand ada, Filipina ada, Indonesia ada.
The old
apa lagi?
patients.
The patient dengan waris diorang kan. Aku macam cakap, aku dah ibarat macam duduk kat luar negara ni kan. So aku rasa benda tu logik. Sebab lagi satu, dia punya treatment dan servis di Gleneagle sendiri A lah. Bagi aku A lah.
Harga diorang dekat sini mungkin lagi murah compare dengan apa yang dekat negara diorang kot.
Could be our standard of care. It's not really. I'm not trying to say that Indonesia, Philippines, yang punya level specialist not as good as us ke tak. But maybe they have the perception yang kita ni lagi bagus, because I know for a fact, because where I work in Sunway University, there's a whole bunch of Indonesian students. And that translate to a whole bunch of them going to Sunway Hospital for treatment, for whatever and all. Even they come to me to do braces and all that. I would say they have a perception that us in Singapore have a better standard of healthcare. So we're a bit cheaper than Singapore, so they come to us, and we have that. I was in Tangkak, Johor for a while. So I've been to Malacca a few times to meet friends and all that. So ada dentist di hospital, I think Mahkota Hospital something. So they have a service on pick up kat ferry. Orang datang dari Medan. Yes. So they have that service. This was way back in 2014. So dia ambil dekat jetty, bawa masuk hospital, buat treatment,
macam
hantar
lancong.
balik. Yes.
Dia sama macam dekat Turki lah. Turki pun ada buat macam tu juga.
Yep. And we
Ada
should
servis.
servis untuk ambil
Tapi Turki antara tempat yang agak terkenal untuk health tourism jugalah. Sebab last year aku pergi, kau tak payah pergi tempat jauh. Kau pergi kat airport je, kau akan nampak orang yang macam kau, tapi dia ada macam I mean dia
sentuh.
Dia botak macam kau, tapi dia ada macam jahit sebab dia tengah tanam rambut kan. Serius weh. Rasanya daripada 10 orang 7 ke 8 memang ni lah. Tapi
dia ada sejarah Mat. Sebelum ni dia ada rambut. Aku tak tahu kenapa rambut dia tak ada kan. Tapi
skinhead selamanya.
Ilyas,
tapi dia nampak lagi maskulin lah.
Ilyas, kalau ada duit pergilah Turki.
And bring me with you.
Tak payah pergi jauh, pergi kat airport pun dah cukup dah. Sebab dia ada klinik yang buat dekat level atas tau, even dekat airport sendiri.
Oh my god. Okay. Don't go there lah. That one is probably the most expensive. Pergi masuk alam sikit to the town, right? Boleh dapat yang murah sikit.
Pergilah kawasan-kawasan pedalaman ke apa ke.
Jangan tu. Sekarang benda lain ditanam.
Okay,
then
so I would say that Turkey is a good example lah. Sebab banyak Europeans pergi sana kan, untuk buat gigi, untuk buat rambut, buat hidung, buat muka. There was this one viral photo of this one guy. He looked 60. After dia buat semua benda, tanam rambut, tukar hidung apa semua, he looked 40 plus. So it's crazy. You can see people they have this one term kat UK nama Turkey teeth. So you go to Turkey to get Turkey teeth and you come back get a suntan. So Mat Salih have buat. So kalau kat Malaysia, I think yang paling the closest yang kita boleh compare is Thailand. Thailand we have this service. I mean they have this service. You go there, you get veneers and you come back. Quite a few of Malaysians they go there as well.
Tapi Malaysia sekarang ni tengah famous dengan apa ni?
Bariatric surgery.
Yes.
So that one is also bekas menteri kita buat. Friend of mine actually did, but
aku nak buat juga, tapi belum ada orang nak sponsor lah. Kalau you guys nak sponsor, beritahu.
Tapi
boleh aku makin kacak ke korang.
Tapi untuk maklumat yang aku dapat mengenai apa?
Bariatric surgery.
Tu apa benda tu kan, untuk menguruskan badan ni. Tapi
potong
dia
perut lah.
Potong perut lah, potong usus lah.
Potong usus lah.
Dia ada risk dia kan.
I'm pretty sure there is. I mean, like, I can't talk about that because I'm not an expert in that procedure. Tapi aku tahu dia punya results is not the one. If you don't have it with good diet and exercise, you still naik badan balik. Ada member dia buat naik badan balik lepas tu. I mean, like, but he's working day and night lah to keep his weight down. So respect to him lah. Some people they need to do it to reduce their health risk, because if you're obese, then you have a health risk. Yeah.
Janganlah cakap tu tengok kat dia.
Tapi aku baru buat medical check up. So far semua okay lah. Aktif bersukan.
Ilyas dia main bola.
Tapi betul.
Tapi kau main bola tak main keeper lah. Aku main
dia walaupun Ilyas kita tahu dia adalah berbentuk besar sikit dan baru lepas berbentuk lah
kau ingat aku ni objek.
So dia buat medical check up tak ada masalah tau. Aku buat medical check up ada masalah. So that's mean dia bukannya mengenai badan ke apa benda kan.
Macam ni Ilyas, perlu ke
Tapi kita perlu exercise juga.
tak perlu ke kita bagi tahu doktor kita ni kenapa Hafiz ada masalah bila buat medical check up.
Kita akan sambung.
Kau dah buat dental check up belum? Dental check up belum? Datang klinik aku buat.
Alamak, dia
Dia datang klinik ke?
Okay, boleh. Nanti kita cakap.
Nanti lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we should circle back to what we're talking about just now. The healthcare traveller revenue, right? Coming, I think it's a big missed opportunity that we can all benefit from. I mean, macam Ilyas cakap tadi, there's a spillover. If they come here, they will spend here, they will stay at the hotels, they will go to Sambil Lagoon, they will go to Genting, they will go to Melaka, Penang and all that.
Betul.
So they can come here 2 weeks for vacation, daripada Australia ke apa, datang in my field lah, they can come at the beginning of the trip, come to the clinic, we scan their teeth, kita buat lah apa yang patut, we buat implant ke apa, go holiday kat Langkawi ke apa, come back to the clinic, and kita boleh finish up their treatment.
Dia ibarat macam kau pergi kursus 5 hari. Kursusnya sehari, 4 hari berjalan.
Betul.
Dia lebih kurang macam tu lah.
Tapi I read some article, Turki sebenarnya dia ada sokong macam government dia bagi insentif lah to promote more on the health tourism ni. Tapi Malaysia rasa macam kita tak berapa nak.
It's tak diwar-warkan sangat. Maybe it's more advertised kat outside countries. Maybe it's more. But I know for a fact that kita ada Malaysian Tourism Health Council and they do give a visa for medical punya
memang
purposes.
ada lah.
Yes. Dan aku tengok website dia orang tadi, pagi tadi aku tengok kan. Nampak the dental is part of it, but whether how much percentage dental is it, I'm not sure. Because of course all the other healthcare punya ni is quite important. Healthcare punya fields are important, and they come to us, they come to Malaysia because we have a good quality of care, we have good specialists who can speak good English, and they are most likely, if they do the treatment here, I'm talking about Westerners, they come and do it here with their flight ticket, their hotel stay is most likely cheaper than wherever they're from. Kan? The nearest one I can think of is Australia lah. Kalau Americans jauh sangat kot. Americans they rather go to Turkey or they might go to South America. So kalau diorang datang kita, dental could be one of the more, coming from my field, I'm biased lah because it's my field. Kita nak ketengahkan lagi dental tu to Motec and also to KKM lah, to say that this is a good source of revenue for the country.
Okay,
right?
satu soalan. Untuk, I mean for your specialist lah, dental, apa sebenarnya yang
Boleh
sebab
dibuat.
yang
boleh
boleh buat
boleh buat.
selain braces.
That is a very good question. I love your question, bro. Okay, jap. It means you have to come to the clinic soon.
Dia sebenarnya tunggu queue sebenarnya.
Tu aku menunggu
bila dah budak-budak ni nak habis cakap pasal polisi ni.
Okay. Alright.
Okay, terus queue.
The biggest one that I think kita akan really benefit from is orthodontic surgery. Okay. Orthodontic surgery. Have the editor write it down here. Orthodontic surgery.
Apa maksud tu? Kita orang boleh tak layman
umum kan?
Okay,
layman punya term.
Dia memecahkan rahang kau, patahkan rahang kau, supaya kita boleh bentukkan balik. It's jaw surgery. So it's very popular in Korea. Kau tengok muka Korean celebrities muka lebih ruang kan. We not being racist. Memang dia orang buat sebiji, dia orang buat surgery yang nampak muka dia orang akan buka mata dia orang akan shave this part here. This angle of mandible dia akan shave. Mungkin buat something called genioplasty juga, where they will either naikkan atau turunkan, depends on what sort of facial structure they have. So every one of us, kita ada facial structure yang kita kategorikan sebagai class 1, class 2, class 3.
Mungkin aku class berapa?
Looking at you, all of you are class 1, maybe you're a bit of class 3, but
asal ada beza-beza.
Exactly. It's a good thing for men. Okay. For men, class 3 is the best. Strong jaw. Okay. You nampak masculine. Alright, strong jaw. Yes. Alright. Class 1 is what society deems as normal lah. Ni bukan kita cakap ni, society deems it as normal. Class 1. Class 2 is when you punya rahang atas ni ke depan. Yeah, rahang atas ke depan. So for you, rahang you is a bit to the front, rahang bawah, dagu you. And for men, class 3 is more masculine lah. However, there are cases where the dagu is too much to the front, terlalu ke depan. You've seen people like that most likely. I can't think of any local celebrity, but we're not going to name anyone lah, dia kena saman lah kita. Alright, so dia orang ada dagu ke depan, and then it's not just not nice, but it's affecting their function. Nak makan susah, nak cakap susah. Alright, there's a bit of space between the teeth when they bite. Alright, so there's air that comes out. Alright, so these are the things that is not just aesthetically you boleh betulkan, tetapi functionally Dia orang boleh makan dan cakap dengan elok lepas buat surgery tu. So my boss, my ex-boss, but I'm still working with him, Dr. Firdaus Hanafiah. He is an oral maxillofacial surgeon. He's been in the business for the past 30 years, I think. So he's one of the first few that came from Otago University and also from Eastman in London. And then he's done alternative surgery for the past 15-ish years. Okay, so what we do traditionally, kita akan pakai dengan braces kat diorang untuk 6 bulan, maybe up to 1 year. Kita akan betulkan gigi diorang, align semua, and we call it decompensation. Kita akan ratakan gigi diorang supaya diorang boleh buat surgery dan kita boleh bawa diorang punya dagu ke belakang. Akan patahkan di sini, mungkin patahkan di sini. Yes, dalam surgery patient don't feel anything. Patahkan.
Dia punya daripada starting harga tu berapa? Starting harga berapa sampai ni?
You can buy a MyV with it. You can buy a MyV one surgery.
For Malaysia.
Ring, yeah. MyV Malaysia.
MyV version lama
model
ke?
Base model lah. Base
So
model
orang dalam
40 to 60.
40 to 60.
40 to
So
60,000.
yang datang ke Malaysia around dalam
So that's what $10,000 US.
Yeah.
$10,000 US, $15,000 US. It can run up to $35,000 US. Kalau tempat lain di Australia, I'm pretty sure it's much higher.
Yeah.
Cheap mah.
Yeah, and you get more or less the same. The hospital, the equipment is the same. The techniques are the same. The doctors are trained by the Western universities also, right? And so we have that capability, and my boss does it. I think he's done it like in 1 year. He's done maybe 12 once a month, more or less on average. And these are locals. 1 or 2 are from overseas. The first case that I worked with him was actually a Malaysian who has stayed there in UK. Stayed in UK for a long time. Came back and did the surgery. Fella looks handsome now. Damn good. So there's a you can see the change. And he did it when he was 17. Now he's like probably 20 something, and he has that. Dia punya benefits dia dapat lifetime for about 6 months of work. So yeah.
Lifetime
Lifetime lah, because you you tukar rahang you.
I mean dia punya
Sakit ke?
betul
Of
lah.
course, sakit.
Prosedur dia.
Berapa lama dia nak okay tu?
We always tell the patient to be ready for 6 months, but
6
most
months.
likely 1 month to 3 months lah at the most.
6 months tu adakah macam akan mengganggu dia punya
Dia kena belajar cakap balik.
pemakanan dia, maksudnya
Pemakanan most likely be improved. Dia kena belajar cakap balik, kena ambil IC baru, pasport baru. Ya, muka akan berubah.
Oh ya, betul
Muka
lah.
you akan berubah. So this orthodontic surgery is done by oral maxillofacial surgeon, orthodontist dan dentist. So we work together.
Okay.
So people might think it's a medical procedure, and to a point it is. Tetapi orang yang paling elok nak diagnose dan refer dan untuk buat the decompensation I was telling you about, the braces part, the gigi part and the biting part adalah dentist. Yeah. Specifically orthodontist, orang buat braces lah.
So bermakna perubahan muka kita ni boleh dengan rahang saja.
Yeah, you will see a big difference. So if you guys want to have a look at this ni, you can see the before and after of this patient. Boleh tengok. This is dia punya dagu ke depan dia. And dia dah straight dah profile dia. So from class 3, he became class 1. Okay. But he had, if I remember, dia punya gigi dagu depan dia ke depan is about 8 to 10 millimeters ke depan, which is a lot tau. It's supposed to be behind your upper teeth about 2 to 3 millimeters. That's what society deems as normal lah.
Right. Tapi untuk di Malaysia sendiri, adakah lokal ni berminat dengan
Ya, berminat enough lah to do average kita. Average the clinic is one surgery a month for orthodontic.
Oh, maksudnya
adalah macam there was one time when I think in 1 month dapat 2-3. These are expensive surgeries tau.
Tapi modal dia besar lah.
Yeah, of course. Modal dia besar, and also like of course you don't pay all at once. Some of them they can somehow got it through their medical insurance. I'm not sure how. I'm pretty sure there's some sort of pathology or some sort of disease that they had, and they boleh get it through their medical insurance. Yeah, so I'm not sure how. But my Dr. Firdaus has done quite a lot, and not just him. A few other oral maxillofacial surgeons has done in UM and KPJ and all that. Yeah, so his base is mostly in Avicenna Hospital. Yeah, insyaAllah. Yeah.
60,000.
Betul lah. So that is the biggest one.
Aku nak jadi handsome 60,000.
No, you're good bro. You don't have to change. Berapa you nak ni?
Tak, aku just cakap lah. Nak jadi handsome 60,000 kan.
Modal untuk habis 60 lah. Modal
Tapi
untuk Ilyas berapa?
Perempuan Malaysia lagi mahal tau.
Kau suka
Ada
bully
isu
dia. Kau suka bully dia.
Geras sikit.
Modal untuk Ilyas berapa? Tapi sebenarnya modal kau tak besar sebab Rizwan cakap kau dah tak payah, kau dah kelas 3 dah. Kau dah okey dah.
Habis mungkin hidung kau kot kena ubah sikit.
Nah bro, that's good. Hidung dia elok, don't worry. Aku tengok kan Pak, okay.
Okay, that's orang kata memang I think a very good knowledge. Me myself, I think you know lah my work kan. I've met a lot of dentists pun, tapi tak pernah lagi diorang cerita apa nama
Orthodontic surgery.
Orthodontic surgery ni, so
Yeah.
it's a very good knowledge.
I'm very lucky lah. I'm very lucky to have known Dr. Firdaus. He was the one that taught me about all this.
Yeah, and also we are also lucky to have Dr. Rizwan to our session. Okay, bodek sikit. Okay, now let's move on to the third topic yang pasal vaping kan. So what's your opinion on the vape? I think because last
Don't
year
vape.
ada pasal pasal GEG lah, lepas tu ada kita orang nak government nak bentangkan akta lah apa semua kan. Macam mana Yas?
Tanya Dok kan, apa pendapat dia?
Kau bukan vape kan?
Siapa vape sini? Siapa vape sini?
Aku tak vape.
Aku nampak siapa smoke vape sini.
Aku smoke lah. Of course lah.
Sebab tu lah dia punya medical report tu selalu kantoi.
Tu kantoi, banyak kantoi.
Tapi
Aku
dia
lah,
dari segi
Jangan
ekonomi,
belajar.
dari segi ekonomi dia memang menyumbang
Aku
banyak.
penyumbang utama tau. Dalam cukai kerajaan. Kau yang main-main. Kau vape dah lah tak bayar cukai.
Kau jangan
macam tu.
tak menyumbang ya juga, tapi kau jangan masuk hospital kerajaan lah.
Tak lah. Setakat ni tak.
Dia pun cerita Gila Eagles tadi kan.
Okey lah.
Yeah. So you vape? You ada vape?
Tak.
Tak vape lah. Okay.
Ui, betul orang politik lah dia ni.
Tak vape. Betul lah tak vape.
Tak vape. Okay. I mean, vape is to me. Okay, first of all, I am a huge believer of you are free to put whatever you want in your body.
Okay.
Okay.
Nak vape, nak smoke, whatever, go ahead. Alright. Tapi if it comes to the point where you are memudaratkan orang sekeliling you, alright. For example, second-hand smoke. Okay, that's not something that I think that we should recognize that lah. That apa-apa yang kita buat kalau boleh memudaratkan orang lain, then I think that is something that we shouldn't do.
Betul.
Untuk vape, untuk vape personally, I rasa vape.
Hentam lagi doktor.
I
Hentam lagi
believe
doktor.
there was a time when there wasn't enough study to see whether ada apa-apa tak untuk vape. Masa tu vape was quite early and suddenly we found out there's something called E-Valley. I'm not sure dia punya term, but something to do with the lungs. Lung infection.
Apa ni?
Associated with E-Valley. So E-Valley.
Lung injury lah.
Yeah. So that is actually something that can affect people, and we have vapes of different colors, of different shapes, different flavors, and they're all catered. I've seen them being sold at 7-Eleven. I've seen a kid bawa budak like maybe 13 belas tahun, 14 tahun beli.
Okay.
Betul?
I think that's the biggest issue that we have, because you are free to put whatever you want in your body, but I think you have to be of a certain age, because you have to know all the pros and cons of it. So you're an adult, you smoke, you know what it is, right? You know not to do it around children, around babies, around pregnant mothers. You know not to do it. So children, they don't have that. I think the biggest gap that we had was that when it was taken out of the poisons list or something. So that was the biggest. A lot of medical professionals were very, very angry about that, because it wasn't regulated the same way it was regulated as other as other poisons. And then the Generation Endgame came in late, and there was something, it didn't pass through if I remember correctly. Sebab
Teman KJ yang bawa tu kan?
Yes, and then pass through sebab and some were saying that they wanted to tighten up some of the laws, some of the because some of the language was very authoritative. Macam dia, some language very vague, and you can use that language to sort of apply it to any situation. You know, they said that one officer can come in and just search your house or something like that. So I fact check me on that lah, betul ke tak. So they want to tighten up around it, and according to what Dr. Zul said, so dia cakap dia nak buat, this was May of this year. Dia cakap by June, dah lepas kan, cakap enforcement of Act 852, that is control of smoking products for public health. This is not Generation Endgame, I think. So they want it to be implemented beginning June 2024 in response to increase in vaping, because in the Smoking Products Control Act, it is also a Vaping Control Act. So I'm not sure whether this is passed or not, right? But I know for a fact that the MPS, which is the Malaysian Pharmaceutical Society, pharmacists mostly, dia cakap they have deep concerns about the ongoing lack of regulation regarding nicotine liquids. So there is a gap there somewhere. Okay, so I believe the government needs to do a lot more to stem the tide of vaping amongst children. I'm not talking about teenagers or children. Budak-budak 10 tahun, 9 tahun ada yang vape. And it's being sold openly.
So, ni aku
Tapi
nak
income pada kerajaan macam mana? Dia punya
I have no
berapa
idea.
sebab
And I don't care, to be honest.
No. Okay. Here's my point. I think banyak sangat orang bunyi pasal vape ni, pasal sebenarnya pasal kita government tak boleh nak cukai banyak je. Cuba kau jadi macam rokok kan. Keluarlah fatwa apa. Hafiz bukan dengar pun. Hafiz sap je. Logik kan?
Aku pula.
Tadi kau hantar aku kan.
Hafiz catching strays.
Okay, tak.
That's my point.
Aku nak sentuh dua perkara lah apa yang doktor cakap lah. Yes, untuk second smoker, for children, apa, dan vape pun sama jugalah. Aku rasa dia punya kesan dia pun sama. Cuma aku pernah duduk di Jepun about 1 year lah di sana. Dan culture dia lain. Untuk smoke and vaping ni, dia ada satu tempat khas. Dan dia tak sama macam Korea. Korea ni dia ada tempat khas tapi open air. Tapi di Jepun tak. Di Jepun dia ada tempat yang tertutup untuk smoking lah. Dan pada tahun 2019 tak silap aku, KKM kita yang sekarang ni pun menteri yang sama telah apa orang cakap, menhadkan tempat untuk merokok ni sendiri.
Tempat awam lah.
Tempat awam.
Actually,
Cuma selepas benda tu dibuat, benda tu tak silap aku bertahan around dalam 1 year
Dia
kot
ikut
pelaksanaan dia.
Dia ikut government lah. Bila government
Tak,
tukar,
I mean dia punya pelaksanaan kepada apa orang cakap, petugas KKM ni, apa, inspektor kesihatan ni kan.
Buat kuasa lah.
Buat kuasa ni lah.
Yeah.
Just 1 year.
Enforcement officer saja.
Enforcement lah lebih kurang macam tu. Dan sekarang orang boleh smoke dekat tempat.
Ini yang patutnya kerajaan sekarang ni, betul kan?
Kau.
They can't.
So aku berpendapat sekiranya macam Dr. Zul statement di bulan Mei, cuba nak addkan dalam vape rokok vape lebih kurang.
Dia nak masukkan dalam akta balik, nak implement
akta nikotin,
control of smoking products for public health.
Okay. So aku rasa kenapa kita tak follow, Jepun ke, yang betul-betul sebab dia orang Jepun memang best gila. Macam contoh kata dulu Mark 7, sekarang Mavius punya produk
best lah untuk kau.
Tak, dia orang masuk ada charges bukan free tau.
Tempat yang nak merokok tu.
Tempat nak merokok ada charges tau.
Aku suka.
Extra
So
revenue.
kalau nak mati sekali, mati dalam tu sekali. Dia second smoker, third smoker semua jalan terus.
Maksudnya
Asal
kau
benda jadi duit,
kau bayar untuk merosakkan badan kau sendiri lah.
Lebih kurang lah. So di Jepun macam tu gayanya. Dan di Jepun juga bila kita smoking public, dia orang ni akan marah lah sebab dia melibatkan budak-budak. So macam benda tu aku rasa mungkin Dr. Zul boleh ambil sebagai satu
base.
Base dan contoh untuk dapatkan duit kerajaan, duit daripada cukai-cukai yang ada.
Yelah, for me, this is where you try to balance. Okay, you nak menjaga kesihatan, okay, you buatlah larangan merokok. Tapi bila you larang orang merokok, orang merokok ni dia nak merokok kat mana kan? So might as well buat macam Jepun. You just then merokoklah korang kan. Ataupun mungkin kita boleh buat macam contoh ada restoran khas yang untuk smoker ke.
Betul.
Smoking section lah. Smoking section.
Di Jepun memang macam tu. Dan tak silap aku untuk masuk di Jepun, ini convert duit kita lah, around dalam 5 to 10 ringgit masuk saja. Dalam tu pula ada rokok diorang, yang rokok produk diorang lah.
Yang kau masuk kena beli dalam tu lah.
Yes. Rokok beli dalam tu semua. Dan semua adalah produk tembakau.
Tak boleh bawa rokok dari luar.
Tak boleh.
Ada rokok boleh jual di luar tak? Di convenience store semua ada jual.
Dengan syarat. Macam aku pergi semasa zaman tu, masa aku pergi di Jepun, keluar pasport tunjuk umur berapa. Scan di pasport, baru scan di rokok lah.
Wow.
Okay, tu Jepun. Okay, yang aku surprise sangat di Thailand. Produk yang menjual rokok tidak boleh berada 500 meter daripada tempat pengajian ataupun tempat belajar. Itu Thailand punya style. Aku pergi 7 Thailand dan kebetulan aku pergi tempat tempat you diorang lah, tengok kan. Bila aku pergi aku nak beli rokok. Tak ada. Rokok alkohol dilarang 500 meter daripada tempat tu.
Tapi kalau budak tu naik motor sampai tak?
Sampai lah. I mean kau kena tunjuk IC, tunjuk pasport semua kan. So macam aku cakap, kenapa kita tak buat benda ni kan? Dia macam kau sekadar berlega-lega di parlimen untuk kesihatan lah, untuk nampakkan political punya mileage. Tapi on pelaksanaan
Lelek point
tu
nak
aku geram dah sekarang ni.
dah point nak tibai tu kita simpan hujung-hujung sikit. Please aku simpan hujung-hujung sikit. Now yelah, going back to the vaping ni, I mean how do we regulate this?
So I'm not an enforcement officer.
I mean,
alright.
what's your opinion lah?
But my opinion as a layman lah, because I'm just in kalau vaping ni, I have very strong opinions against it. Sebab I don't want children lah. I don't want children especially to need. If you're an adult, you go ahead and vape, and you can do in another section. And I think going back to your point, I think it's still illegal, bro, untuk smoke dekat kedai makan. I think but people still do it sebab tak ada enforcement.
Sekarang yes.
Tak ada enforcement.
Pelaksanaan, betul.
There is a hotline. Ada hotline, you boleh WhatsApp, ambil gambar apa semua. And then ada orang datang yang saman.
Yeah.
People did that after Dr. Zul stepped down, and then it was a change of governments. There were people who were doing it, and recently dia orang ada macam enforcement step up balik, right? So the law is still there. Enforcement I think is a bit lacking lah.
For me, kalau bagi aku jugalah, aku walaupun aku seorang pokok, tapi aku tak ada, kalau ada budak kita tengah makan, aku tak adalah nak mokok itu, aku akan belah dari situ, kita mokok jauh sikit lah kan. I mean, yelah.
What Thailand and Japan ni macam cakap tu, they're making it very difficult for smokers to smoke.
Yeah.
Alright, they make it very difficult for smokers to smoke in the hopes that dia akan
stop lah.
Because stop, and in the hopes that dia akan lagi susah tu. Maybe some people they don't want to smoke. Some people are very heavy smokers. Some people they want smoke ke social je. But bila benda tu menyusahkan, okay, tak payah smoke, kita pergi tempat lain.
Balik rumah lah.
Balik rumah lah itu. Orang pergi tempat lain lah, lepak whatever.
Sopo kat rumah lah.
So lah kan. So for vaping and smoking, I believe the enforcement should be there, and I think they shouldn't sell it willy-nilly. Maybe they should have that system yang scan kat rokok, scan dekat ni, atau scan kat vape, scan kat IC ke.
Sebab
jual mahal pun tak apa.
Cuma di Thailand dan Singapura vape dilarang sama sekali ya.
Oh ya. But Singaporeans chewing gum tak boleh.
Chewing gum macam aku masa aku nak masuk Singapura, dia tanya isap vape ke tak? Tak lah. Aku tanya okok aku sekali kena rampas sebab tak boleh bawa okok yang bersil lagi lah. Kena isap okok negara sana lah.
Kena beli sana punya lah.
Even kalau kau dah tarik satu daripada sini pun,
Masih dalamnya minyak,
letak terus dalam tong sampah dia. So itu Singapura punya cara. I mean, tak macam Thailand ni, aku memang impress gila cara pelaksanaan dia tu. Memang impress gila. Yelah, kita tahu Thailand dia sektor dia pertanian yang boom kan.
Pelancongan
and tourism and healthcare tourism.
Dan bila aku sampai tu cakap, kenapa kita tak buat macam ni kan? I mean, untuk kekangan below age yang beli benda-benda macam ni, kenapa tak buat something kat situ? I mean, tutup section untuk tobacco dan alkohol, close around dalam 500 meter lebih kurang macam tu kan.
Yeah, I think that's a very important point. The biggest gripe that we had, most medical healthcare professionals had, with yang mas tobacco was out of the poisons list or whatever tu, was that it wasn't regulated, it could be sold to children unregulated. So that was the biggest issue that we had.
Maksudnya orang marah
sebab anyone can buy it, including children. Yang tu yang masalahnya.
Yelah, but kenapa diorang buat macam tu? Adakah sebab tekanan daripada lobbyist ke ataupun I don't know.
I know some people they tried to associate one of the apa nama benda lah tu, dia yang menolong pembantu menteri, pembantu khas apa nama? Pegawai khas. Alright. He used to work with British American Tobacco lah. Adalah dia jumpa. I don't know man, that's all speculation. Tapi it doesn't matter why, it just needs to stop. They just have to go around it. And but one thing about the generation endgame that KJ was trying to bring, I think it was good. But he was saying something about New Zealand did it first. We could have been the first. But that's why I disagree with this ex-minister of health. He it doesn't matter if you're first if you don't do it right. Maybe there was something in the law that was that should have been tightened up, that could have left less room for interpretation, and then you boleh the law will be much more complete. Walaupun kita tak first, tak apa, New Zealand did it first. Generation Endgame korang tahu kan, basically if you're born after a certain year,
Dia punya target tu
tak boleh
2007
bayar,
lah.
tak boleh
Siapa yang
langsung.
2007 kan?
Lepas 2007 tak boleh beli something like that lah.
We don't have it, right? Tak ada lagi kan, belum lagi.
Dia sepatutnya KJ nak bawa benda tu lah.
Tapi
Tapi bila jatuh dan tukar kerajaan,
Alah, lepas dah tak jadi menteri boleh lah cakap macam-macam.
dia close kejap kan.
Ada kuas kejap. Okey lah.
Lepas ni masuk balik tau.
Okay. Rest. Okay,
Yeah.
kita flashback balik. I mean, how long have you been in the government service?
2 tahun lebih je bro. Not long. Not as long as some of my friends.
2 tahun lebih tu maksudnya kau just completekan kau punya housemanship je lah. Is it?
Yeah, so my time, they call it first year dental officer, FIDO, right? So I was doing it in Miri and Bintulu.
Okay.
I did Miri 1 year and Bintulu 1 year. Masa
Okay.
Bintulu tu I was already a pegawai penjawat tetap. Yeah,
Okay.
I got the benefits of being a pegawai kerajaan lah.
Okay. I could not, orang kata, hide the elephant
In the room.
in the room.
Okay.
Kenapa kau keluar daripada government? Sebab bukan
Okay.
Maksudnya kau
bukan
habis tak Osman?
Habis lah.
Habis lah.
Habis
Habis
lah.
lah.
Takkan
Tak adalah dia jadi doktor kan kau ni.
aku takkan sewenang-wenang nak panggil doktor fake kau.
Aduh.
Okay, kenapa kau keluar daripada government?
Underpaid.
Sebab ramai bro.
Stress.
I mean, not you
Specialist ke?
alone.
Okay. At that time,
Ni
this
dia
was
macam
in 2015, 2016.
Okay.
Okay.
It wasn't as bad as it is now. Okay, it was okay. Contract punya ni baru start. The 2 batches after me baru start contract. Okay, that time I was pegawai tetap. I could have reaped the benefits. Tahun tak tahu aku dah jusa sekarang. Mana.
Serious lah.
Yeah, yes. But what made me leave that time, there was some personal issues. Adalah I met a girl, whatever. But mostly money. I wanted more money lah. And I wanted to go to private because I could do the treatment that I could. If you're in the public service, your role is to control diseases. You're not there to improve the patient's life sangat. You're there to just treat the symptoms. Kita adalah the front line untuk whatever national health policy is going on. So katakanlah there is a huge caries punya rate. Caries is decay kat gigi lah. And kita kena pergi and cabut gigi atau tampal gigi.
Betul.
That's our work. And our work in the government service is not as good as the one in the private service, simply due to the fact that there are too many patients dekat government clinic compared to private.
Sorry, tiba-tiba teringat. Zaman-zaman dulu kan ada yang time session kita sekolah, ada yang datang check up kan?
Yeah, I do that.
Yang itu doktor yang datang ke nurse?
Nurse
Kebiasaan.
datang. Kalau ke sekolah kebangsaan, nurse datang.
Okay.
Ada sessions yang doktor datang. Ada yang klinik yang static kat sana, nurse come every week. Di sekolah menengah pun ada, and we go to private schools ada, we go to Chinese schools ada, we go to even all the way down to Ulu, all the pedalaman. So that was one of my favourite parts of working in Sarawak lah. I get to go naik boat 3 jam masuk kampung. You tak jumpa orang, tiba-tiba masuk kat kampung, like tiba-tiba ada orang, there's a kampung there, right? And then you boleh cabut gigi. I pernah cabut gigi orang Penan, orang even people from across the border, Kalimantan dia pernah cabut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I went in. That was one of the more happier times of my life. And then kat sekolah, we would do about the whole tingkatan. Like kalau tingkatan ada few hundred people, kita kena siapkan dulu tu semua dalam, let's say 3 minggu kena buat semua. Have to go day in day out, masuk, check gigi, tampal apa yang patut, cabut apa yang patut. Yeah, it was tough. But the work was quite rewarding in the sense that you can see yourself making a difference. Why some dentists leave is because at one point, the work they were doing, they felt like it was not compensated, sama ada financially ataupun rewarding. Tak rasa rewarding lah.
Tak berbaloi ya.
Tak balik. Betul lah.
So untuk orang cakap senang cerita, adakah dia underpaid ataupun tidak? Dengan apa yang you buat?
Are you considering yourself underpaid or not?
Yes.
I would say if there's anyone underpaid in the KKM service, in the KKM, the ones that are underpaid are mostly the nurses, the PPK, the DSAs, the technicians. Doctors, they can take care of themselves. They can locum. They can kerja tempat lain. The dentists, alhamdulillah, kita punya gaji at that time, we can be frank, I can just say, I don't mind showing it. So that time, because I was working in Sarawak, I dapat 5k plus out of this grad, 5k plus I rasa, sebab I dapat an extra 1k because I was moving from Semenanjung to Sarawak.
Betul.
So kalau dekat, I remember when I got back to I keluar Sarawak pergi Johor, I tengok paycheck macam apa hal kurang sangat ni because turns out I dapat banyak allowance I makan tinggi, a bit higher and all that.
Time tu lepas dah balik ke Johor tu dah tukar kereta baru ke belum? Belum. Okay. Nasib baik.
I'm using the same car bro. Like saya sekarang 10 tahun guna kereta sama.
So sebab takut tiba-tiba terkejut kan. Dia punya alarm kurang kan.
Potong kan.
Itulah for me Alhamdulillah we could make do. Doctors, dentists, I rasa we could make do. Doctors, I can't really speak for them because their work is lagi banyak work. They are overworked. For dentists, we close the clinic at 5. We're okay. The ones that yang kesian are the nurses. The nurses, the dental nurse, the DSA, the assistants, the PPK. PPK ni macam a bit one level lower than DSA, the assistants. The the one yang jaga office apa semua tu. So those are the ones that I rasa I think recently they got their pay rise really well deserved. The job that they had to do, especially the ones who are in clinical, they have to upskill themselves and learn things. They have to do a new system now where they key in all the patient's details instead of writing it down. They upskill themselves and I think they really earn their pay rise. Sebab kalau tak they could have focused just on clinical, tak payah fikir nak buat all this, nak masuk, nak key in all the data lah, nak buat all this ni.
Tapi dekat government I think dia punya scope dengan rasa limited sebab servis klinik servis pergigian di klinik kerajaan dia tak banyak kan.
Tapi kita ada specialist clinics.
Ya ke?
Okay, so how it works, kita ada primary care. People go there. Klinik pergigian usually attached to klinik kesihatan lah.
Klinik kesihatan semua lah.
For some reason kita selalu atas klinik kesihatan. I don't know why.
Tingkat atas lah.
Tingkat atas.
Dia macam klinik gigi pun selalu tingkat atas kan.
But we trying to change that. Kita nak buat ni sebab kita nak biar orang yang mana boleh naik wheelchair, yang apa semua.
Okay.
So, and then they would that's primary care. So if you have any concern like sakit apa, okay, you masuk sana dulu. Maybe have to wait half a day to meet the doctor for half an hour, right? And then kita nampak something that we can't really do. For example, a wisdom tooth. Ataupun kita nampak ada ulcer dalam mulut that's been there for 2 weeks and it's growing rapidly. Takut cancer. Kita hantar ke pakar. Pakar tu there's a few pakar where I was in Sarawak. I was in Miri, so we had pakar pediatrics, children's dentistry, as well as oral surgeon. It was in Hospital Miri. So I was there and I was working in Hospital Miri in pakar oral surgery for 5 months. I think 1 month in children's dentistry, and we dealt with a lot of cases, a lot of trauma cases, accident motor jatuh, driving drunk. Ada pernah kena pedang samurai kat sini. Aku jahit muka dia pukul 2 pagi. Yes. Those are the things that we had to do. Dentist 2 pagi I jahit muka orang sampai pukul 4 pagi.
Itu kira overtime ke?
That's on call.
On call.
Yeah, on call. So kita on call. That time on call was still okay. We could claim it. We still got money coming in. Some of my friends are saying now on call is a bit, you can't get it because there's no budget. I don't know. I think it depends on which district you're at.
So sekarang ni isu doktor kontrak, hatal apa semua ni apa benda sebenarnya? I mean, apa isu dia sebenarnya?
Okay.
Kota ke, bajet ke, ataupun
ataupun mengada-ngada.
Bajet tinggi ya untuk
bajet tinggi. I would say the budget it gets higher every year.
One of the highest allocation lah kan.
Which as it should. I mean, healthcare defense, I feel, it should be our topmost priority lah. We need to defend the country. We need to make sure the people inside are healthy, right? We need to educate them also. So 3 benda kan. So I feel when because you guys have to remember when I was in government service, it was a bit better than what it is now. But I still felt the stress of having to go to the hospital pukul 2-3 pagi because I do something called passive call. I ada rumah. Bila emergency department cakap, Dr. Rez ada patient fracture his jaw, so you come and see. So I will have to get out and pergi hospital, and then lalu jalan yang gelap lah apa semua, in hospitals usually a bit further away, not in town or whatever. and then I have to see the patient, and I still have to go to work at 8 AM the next day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, itulah.
That's mean betul lah yang ada diorang standby sampai 24
Exactly.
ke
Itu
48
yang
jam
medical,
tu.
I tell you, I really don't envy them sebab
Kan
dia orang
ada
punya
case-
kerja kau ya.
Kan ada kes yang doktor
Overworked.
Overwork, lepas tu yang dia sampai
Tertinggal anak.
Tertinggal anak. Itu
Kesian lah.
Kesian.
Oh,
Memang
they have to
overwork
take
gila.
shifts and all that. So diorang medical people, you got to call in doctor lah yang baru keluar government service, because I'm pretty sure they have stories. They are overworked, they are understaffed, and that's where the underpaid things come. You know, kalau you kerja you is setimpalan gaji daripada, it's fine. And also nurses, this is what I'm getting from. These are second-hand accounts, by the way, guys. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm not in the service for a long time dah. Second-hand I'm getting from my friends who are dentists and medical doctors. They say that one of the biggest challenges is that they can't focus on their clinical work. They have to do things macam what you call it? Kalau doctors, the ideal one is nurses dah ambil darah, nurses dah hantar darah
Lab.
pergi lab. That's the ideal one. But now doctors are the one that has to do it because the support staff around them are not enough.
Serius?
Yeah, these are piecemeal punya information I dengar lah. Whether that is true at the statistical level, I can't say. Only KKM has the answer kan. Dia punya berapa ramai orang, berapa nurses ada dalam satu hospital. You know, there was a glut at one point. Too many medical doctors and dentists. Terlalu banyak, tetapi support staff dan chair, for us kita perlukan chair lah, kurang.
Ya, aku pernah dengar satu cerita. Ada seorang dentist ni, dia bagi tahu aku lah, waktu dia panggil houseman
FIDO, I mean first year dental. Now we call it endo, new dental officer. Houseman lah.
Houseman lah. Okay. Waktu dia houseman, dia bayangkan dia houseman kat satu klinik, dia kata doktor pelatih ada 8 orang. Dental chair ada 1.
Yeah.
So ada doktor tu yang ada doktor tu yang macam diorang kesian kat diorang, tapi nak praktis yang lepak lah, tidur kat surau lah, baca Quran lah. I mean,
Tapi benda-benda ni, I mean, dia bukan melalui pengarah kesihatan di situ ke, ataupun tak? Aku tengok macam benak sangat dia orang ni. Takkan semua benda tak boleh nak tak benda ni, sebab aku pun pernah aku as a patient pergi hospital kerajaan.
Yeah.
Okey, kita tengok bermacam-macam ragam. Itu belum lagi yang buat muka kat kaunter tu.
Peace.
Betul dengan rahang dia je.
Peace. Lepas ni kau pergi klinik dia je lah. Kau jangan pergi klinik kesihatan kerajaan, please. Kau dah kena ban lah ni.
Itu satu benda lah yang buat muka di situ. Okey, macam baru-baru ni di hospital kerajaan juga, rumah aku ada something lah yang terjadi. I mean, the doctor bagi satu explanation. Aku rasa dia dah penat sangat kot, sebab aku pun datang around dalam pukul 2 pagi.
Okay.
Dia
kat
dah
ED time tu, kat ED, kat emergency department.
Yes.
Okay.
So dia dah terlampau penat agaknya. Dia cakap terus buat operation. Aku jadi tengah-engah lah, operation pasal apa doktor kan. Dia cakap sekian lah penyakit gini. Tapi bila aku cakap confirm ke? Kalau tak confirm tak apa, nanti elok balik. Aku macam, ya Allah, apa masalah ni? Aku sampai terpaksa cut off conversation tu. Aku cakap tak apa doktor, I rujuk dengan my doctor untuk confirmkan benda ni lah. And then memang confirm lah benda tu. Cuma cara penjelasan, aku tak tahulah CS di service di custom CS di government ni memang problem ke atau macam mana. Aku rasa diorang ni kena hantar satu macam mana training. Serve to rakyat.
Tapi dia berbalik juga kalau underpaid ni, rasa underpaid, stress.
Ya, betul. I mean, kalau underpaid, kita faham underpaid ni. Tapi kalau kau berminat dengan kerja tu, kalau kau rasa situ underpaid, kau lompatlah pergi ke tempat lain. I mean, tak payahlah kot nak.
Mana ada? Dia nak lompat ke mana?
Yelah, macam doktor sendiri lah. Macam doktor sendiri.
I mean, doktor
doktor
okey lah. Tapi untuk yang lain macam nurses pun,
The counter staff.
Sebab kita
those
kadang-kadang
skills don't really transfer sometimes, especially if you have been inside the government service for 10 years, 15 years, right? You want to go straight to private, it's a whole different ball game dah. Right? Jadi kalau you stuck in your ways, and because the doctors and dentists that come in, new officers, dental officers, medical officers yang masuk, we are beholden. Kita kena dengar cakap nurses sama lama Dia the ones that control the clinic.
Macam
Alright.
dengar lah cakap akak dah lama ni.
Dah lama dah kau baru masuk. I've seen 10 people like you. Macam tu.
I mean itu bukan terjadi di hospital juga. Aku rasa di jabatan-jabatan lain pun ada juga macam tu. No, I telling the truth. Benda ni sebab benda ni
Bosku.
benda ni memang terjadi. That's why yang kadang-kadang bila sampai new officer masuk, dia stress sampai tak boleh blah, lepas tu and then jam ke tempat. I mean dia punya career tu yang sama, cuma ni lah swasta lah kan.
Lepas tu sampai kat aku, doktor berminat nak buka klinik lah. So itulah yang terjadi kepada salah seorang doktor ni lah. Bukan nama sebenar.
But you're right. I mean like in the you are being empathetic to them. You tahu dia orang ni doctors, the nurses, the counter staff, they are tired. They are working double shifts and all that. But you're right, and that's what I didn't want to be. So that's why I left the government service, because it takes a toll on you. You know, if you have to go on call 2-3 pagi, have to still go in work pukul 8. Sometimes kalau YMU boss you elok cakap tak apalah, you masuk lambat sikit lepas lunch ke apa, you know, someone can take over your job. But you nak leave pun you rasa guilty sebab you know that there's like there's going to be 200 people coming that morning. There's only how many dentists. So kita kena do our part. And then going back to the equipment tak cukup tu, for dentists is very very important now. Kalau kita tak cukup material, tak cukup material tampalan tu, tak cukup atau defective drill, for example the handpiece tu, atau chair tak rosak, tak boleh naik turun, atau chair tak boleh suction, tak boleh keluar air, benda tu memang mengganggu kita punya flow. Memang mengganggu flow. And kalau kita nak panggil patient masuk, what you call it, we have we sometimes pernah buat macam ni tau. I akan inject gigi 5 orang one shot, inject, dia orang tunggu luar. The first one inject, masuk balik cabut.
Macam pergi fanfare.
Itulah kan. So they come in, inject, so dia orang keluar, and then the next one masuk inject 5 times, and then dia masuk balik. It felt like a factory. I didn't want that. And I wasn't doing a good quality of work. I can be very honest. Tampalan I buat
tak berapa dah berpuluh-puluh menteri tukar, KSU saling ganti, tapi solution yang simple-simple macam ni, macam peralatan yang tak cukup.
Alasan yang biasa diorang pakai, kita tak dapat aduan. Itu yang paling kurang hajar lah bagi aku. Takkanlah setiap benda, I mean 2024 kot, takkanlah setiap benda kau nak kena
tak turun
official channel.
I mean dia macam tak ada proper way lah sampai sekarang.
Memandangkan dah ada banyak sangat rungutan kiri dan kanan. Now let's go to the next point. Memang sangat relate lah. Adakah sesuai untuk kita so-called macam de-subsidize the healthcare, ataupun yalah, yang maksudnya dan kita lebih ke arah macam contoh US, Korea Selatan, yang mana asal kau nak masuk hospital je kena ada insurance.
I think it's good.
Tapi pada aku tak setuju on that. Because yelah, kalau ada patient tu ada yang dia kerja kat Singapore, I mean dia daripada Malaysia kerja kat Singapore, kos kat situ dah berapa, dia bila dia balik benda tu free. Contohnya bersalin ke apa, kos berapa je yang bayar pada hospital kerajaan. Dah jimat pada orang lah. Kalau nak jadikan dia privatize, berapa orang je yang mampu?
I think like healthcare should be for everyone. Tak kisah kau kaya, kau miskin ke, kau duduk kat pedalaman ke, duduk kat bandar, that should be our universal right. But the level of healthcare, so if let's say in my field, kalau kau nak datang cabut gigi, you should be able to do it for RM1. Tapi kalau kau nak tanam gigi, that one you should pay, right? Tapi kalau nak buat gigi palsu, a bit cheaper, boleh buat government clinic. Everyone should have the right to healthcare, medical or dental, and also right to ubat, pharmacy. Tetapi kalau you nak level of healthcare that is higher, then they pay. So in certain hospitals, I know for a fact for maternity you can you can do this. It's called
FPP.
Yes.
Full paying patient.
Yeah, you have that. You have the expertise of a specialist, and then you pay that, but you know it's a bit cheaper than private in hospitals. So they can be some programs, but like it or not, I think we have to serve every rakyat out there.
Sebab kita duk kutip teks dan sebagainya, tu tak boleh lah benda tu nak diprivatize kan.
Macam mana Hafiz?
Macam aku, okay, betul lah apa yang doktor cakap, tapi on certain point untuk mengelakkan kesesakan di hospital kerajaan, so mungkin kita kena ada inisiatif yang lain. Contoh kata di Korea, di Korea, kau nak call ambulance kau kena fikir duit tau. Itu dah start kena fikir aku duit. Contoh kata di negara
That's what I think we shouldn't have. I don't think we should. Okay, I do not think kita patut, kalau kita sakit, money should be the last thing from our mind. Kalau life threatening especially.
Ya.
Yeah.
Tapi untuk di sana, kalau contoh katalah kita macam demam panas ni, orang rakyat sana, dia orang seboleh-boleh tak nak ambulans datang, ambil.
So
seboleh-boleh. Sebab aku pernah klik aku kes demam, kita orang dah tahulah law di sana. Bagi masuk je, macam kita masuk bayar RM1 kan, dia masuk je bayar RM5,000 duit kita.
Apa dia foreigner kan?
Sebab foreigner lah. Tapi kita dia ada satu terms lagi, kita visa legal, yang untuk work permit semua ada. Dan benda tu bukan terjadi di foreigner, rakyat dia orang pun sama. That's why dia orang macam, dia orang takut sangat sebenarnya nak pergi hospital. That's why dia orang makan yang benda-benda yang berkhasiat semua kan.
So kita kena bersyukur lah sebagai rakyat Malaysia.
Yelah, bersyukur juga.
Bersyukur juga. Bila dah terlampau pack, dia jadi rungutan.
And also the issue of people who run away. Some of the foreigners, party apa semua,
yang tak bayar tu.
Tak bayar bill. There is ni, and KKM should really, it's dia orang yang bawa masuk lah, yang bawa masuk party, bawa masuk hospital.
Termasuk dalam untuk Rohingya, Bangladesh, terutama untuk refugee. Benda ni bermasalah sangat. Dan aku rasa tak ada endorsement ke apa, tak ada.
And also ada juga kes-kes terpencil yang kata macam pergi hospital kerajaan dapat ubat, tapi ubat tu pergi buang lah apalah. Itu pun sebenarnya macam agak kerugian sikit lah, sebab ubat tu subsidi mahal mat.
But is it because of these people you should stop treatment kat orang lain? Just because of some people. I'm not saying all. Some people
understand.
buang ubat. Does that mean orang yang tak buang ubat tu kena stop juga diorang punya ni? Why are we being punished for the sins of other people? So sama juga macam same thing with the people yang foreigners ni, some of the refugees. Aku dulu kalau refugee dia orang ada rate sendiri. Rate foreignernya rate apa semua. So do we blame these people yang sakit, they don't know where else to go? Takkan nak bilang mati. Doctors, dia orang akan rawat and all that. Dia orang lari sebab employer dia orang ataupun orang yang bawa masuk tu tak nak bayar.
Betul.
So what's the other recourse? They don't have any money, So the issue here, I think is like, it's berkait lah dengan immigration and all that. We have to make sure people who come in here to the country, they have employers that would pay all of this. Kalau refugee, I'm not sure. I don't have the answers to everything, but I think we should not deny anyone, especially the rakyat, the chance to have universal healthcare. Alright.
Yalah, macam you as a doctor, you memang dah
tu idealistic lah. Sangat idealistic. I tahu benda tu susah nak implement, tapi we have to make a first step somewhere.
Betul.
Understand. So, second last question, Dr. Zul, second term sebagai Menteri Kesihatan. Ilyas, macam mana? What do you think?
Dr. Zul
pening.
Taklah dia
Karang jawab kena pecat.
Janganlah bagi jawapan selamat.
Kontroversi.
Dr. Zul ni aku rasa dia punya masalah is pegawai-pegawai dia yang masalah. Hari tu ada isu pasal pegawai dia cuba-cuba nak buat duit sendiri kan, jumpa-jumpa dengan tycoon dan sebagainya. So aku tak tahu benda tu betul ke ataupun macam mana.
Itu aku tak tahu.
So in term of pelaksanaan pula, mungkin PTD tu kita tak tahu apa ni. Mungkin Dr. Zul nak macam ni, tapi KSU dan sebagainya mungkin dia ada kepala dia sendiri. PTD ni dia tahu ni kerajaan ni tak lama ni, sekejap lagi jatuh tukar lagi kan. So aku ikut kepala aku lah. Kalau dia suruh buat A pun aku buat lah B, C, D ke apa.
So you saying there's a disconnect between the politician and the PTD lah. There's a disconnect lah.
Berapa kali dah tukar menteri, tukar kerajaan dan sebagainya. Tapi simple pelaksanaan macam kau cakap kan, kurang equipment apa semua, underpaid apa semua. pada nurse dan sebagainya, still tak berapa improve lagi. Walaupun PMX announcekan naikkan gaji penyawat awam ni.
There is a process lah, because kalau let's say kalau klinik tu tak ada cukup barang, YM tu kena report, hantar kat district report kat state cakap dekat TPKN or something. So that means that that process might not be the best right now. I'm not exactly sure what the process is, but whatever it is, it needs to be better.
For me the process is crony. Senang dia cerita sekarang ni, sebab proses tiba-tiba dekat situ dia mati. Oh, tak sampai lagi lah.
Mungkin yang ni ada company dia, yang ni pun ada company dia, yang atas pun ada company dia.
So itu yang terjadi. Yang jahanam sekarang ni lah.
Okey lah. Kalau kata kita boleh bagi grade lah, berapa nak bagi dekat Dr. Zul? A, B, C?
C-.
Uish.
That's lower than what KJ gave kan? No. I would. Okay, one thing I like about Dr. Zul, his first term, he spent the time and dia kena nak marah lah, but he confronted a bunch of angry doctors tau. The first time he became minister, I still remember. To me, as far as I bukan lama sikit dari dentist ke apa, tapi I've never seen a health minister do that. Yang dia pergi turun, that was because of nak naikkan. Dia town hall, yes. Dia nak naikkan, something about dia naikkan consultation fee. Something about hospitals could do it, but clinic couldn't do it. So marah, I tengok macam, okay, if someone is willing to take all of this abuse and dengar and implement after that, that is someone that should continue being the minister, but he didn't, and he came back.
Compare dengan dia punya first term dengan dia punya second term ni adalah, aku rasa lah dia punya pegawai SUA dia yang buat different. Dia punya pegawai SUA tu memang antara yang top orang cakap.
Oh, okay.
So bila Situsa Akbar lah, SUA ni Situsa Akbar,
okay,
yang main peranan untuk benda-benda macam ni.
Maksudnya
image dia sebagai Dr. Zul dan sebagainya, main peranan juga. Sekarang
Grade, I don't know man, like I can't give grades. I mean I'll give a B+ lah. I'll give a B+. Only because there's room for improvement. I tak nak cakap A, nanti orang cakap bodek ke apa.
Kau dah keluar dah pun. Kau bukan keluar sekejap, kau keluar terus. So peace grade.
Macam aku grade B+ lah. Mungkin aku akan bagi B+ untuk
Lesen.
apa, ya, aku takkan play untuk pegawai dia, tapi untuk dia punya, untuk dia sendiri yang meletakkan apa garis panduan. Aku paling suka sekali semasa pengumuman apa yang tobacco isap okok di kedai makan tu lah.
Itu. And meningococcal vaccine, remember that one? My son directly benefits from that meningococcal vaccine.
So, dan vaksin-vaksin yang dia buat selepas-lepas itu, bagi aku is okay. Dan cuma di peringkat ground sahaja. Dia orang ni aku tak tahulah. Aku rasa semua, dan kebetulan sekarang ni PMX pun dah buat semua tangan kerajaan kontrak. So bagi aku is okay lah.
Kalau in term of Dr. Zul, apa kekurangan dia?
I think dia sebab dia terlampau banyak sangat buat kerja daripada bercakap. So bagi aku dia, orang ambil kesempatan kat situ.
Dia kena balance sikit lah. Dia
kena balance sikit. Dan
kau
dia
buat
kena
sikit,
mungkin
kena up sikit.
Mungkin dalam media dia kena bertegas, ataupun dalam pejabat dia sini kena bertegas untuk pelaksanaan dasar. Mungkin. So sekarang ni bagi aku itu je lah.
He didn't want to bertanding lah last time. He didn't want to bertanding kan. Dia tak nak.
Iya.
Tapi tu cakap-cakap orang politik.
Oh ya ke? Okay, we not
percayalah, Ilyas orang politik. So trust him better than anyone.
After 3 or 5 years, you see nanti kat mana dia.
Okay. Last lah. Sebab aku nampak kau, I mean, you do have some of orang kata ciri-ciri orang politik. If you were offered to be a politician, would you be one?
Yeah, I mean if I believe I can make a change somewhere.
Ya, kita dah ada calon baru.
Tapi just for info, bekas Menteri Besar Selangor, Datuk Seri
Khalid Ibrahim.
No, K Toyo, dia dulu start as a dentist kan.
Yeah, as a dentist.
So mungkin Dr. Rizwan. Kalau kau nak bertanding, kat mana?
My hometown, I mean tempat tinggal aku Subang. Subang.
So
kalau lah, I mean this
lah.
is just very this I will not even entertain the idea sampai I've gotten to a point where I'm financially stable and all my skeletons in my closet semua dah dibuang.
Bukan senang tau seorang doktor yang berminat dengan politik.
Tak ramai.
Apa ada yang kucing ni MP tu. That one. And then
Dr. Kelvin tu.
Kelvin.
Ya, I mean tak untuk orang muda lah. I mean dia
Not that old.
untuk orang muda yang dalam bidang ni yang pernah serve dengan government semua. So I think it's a good.
Yalah, but no lah. Biar aku jalan ke klinik aku dulu. Datang klinik ni kan. Biar aku financial stable. Because I don't want to. Because you are in a very precarious position if you're a politician.
Yeah.
Banyak tempat boleh dia sogok kau banyak benda. So you know, you have to make sure that you are stable first. Financially, mentally, emotionally, religiously. Semua.
Okay, so I think that's all from us. Thank you to Dr. Rizwan, banyak input yang dia share hari ni.
Untuk jadi handsome, jadi lawa.
Then kalau nak tahu korang orang kata kelas berapa, kena follow dia lah. Nanti kita orang akan minta editor letak dia punya tweet handle, then you can ask him. You can ask him directly, saya ni kelas berapa, and I think that's all. Benda tu free ke kena charge dulu? Kena bagi QR dulu?
Aku rasa kelas free. Kelas
Aku tengok dekat kaunter je lah. Tak payah masuk pun tak apa. Boleh, tak ada masalah.
Tak, kalau ada orang DM kat Twitter, dia bagi muka, saya ni kelas berapa.
Aku suruh datang klinik.
Pandai.
Tak adanya aku diagnosis online. Tak ada.
Pandai dia marketing.
I never wanted to give diagnosis online. No.
Okay. Alright, so kita daripada Bual TV, kita ada bagi orang kata provide some, I think some small gift lah.
I pun ada hadiah untuk korang actually.
Sorry, kita punya polisi no give polisi.
Bawah 2005 kan, bukan apa?
Sorry. Kita no give polisi. Kalau nak bagi apa ni lah, bagi close session dulu lah.
Ada juga streamer juga.
Okay. Alright, that's all from us. Okay.
Alright, thank you.
Okay, terima kasih semua. Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Dan Assalamualaikum.
Ilyas, ada nak bagi apa-apa kat atas?
Tak ada, tu je.
Okay. Yes?
Thank you guys. Thank you for inviting. Hopefully I can do this again.
InsyaAllah.
Okay, right. Okay.